Hey YouTube, hope everyone's keeping well out there, and I do hope that everyone has had a fantastic Christmas with friends and loved ones and just had a really good time and made the most of it with obviously the current situation that's going on in the world at the moment. So that's that. I did want to get this video out before Christmas, but with timings and family commitments there was just no way of me doing it really. So it's coming a little bit later. Now this is my collection video for a system, as the title says, the Nintendo Wii U. This is my 5th collection video. My first one was for the Super Nintendo, second one was for the Sega Dreamcast, the third one was for the Sony PlayStation 3, fourth one was for the Sega Master System. So if you haven't seen any of those, please go and check those videos out and comment and let me know what you think to the collections. Now I really like the Wii U console. The concept was there, but again, not polished, and we can obviously see maybe a true intention in the Nintendo Switch. Now, for me, the biggest issues with the launch of this was the poor marketing done by Nintendo and the stupid name. You know, the Wii U, some pretentious branding company should have had their, and I'm sure they would have had their heads rolling with that decision. It was just a poor marketing choice. And yeah, and I think a lot of the customers that previously owned the Wii, like I did, whereas I'm, consider myself a gamer and in the know, I was keeping an eye on the system. Obviously the Wii appealed to, nans, granddads, kids, aunties that never really played games before, and they probably saw this because they were always just showing the tablet controller, and they probably just thought it was a peripheral for the Wii console. So yeah, it was a bit of a disaster, as we all know now. But I really like the system. I got this probably 6 months after release, so that would have been in 2013, I believe, when I just started seeing my now wife, my girlfriend. And I got this from a chap that was selling this, and I think he was a bit of a collector. And he had the console, obviously the tablet. He had an official Wii Pro controller. This one, which is very good, which you can switch between Wii and Wii U functionality. It is very comfortable. It looks a bit bizarre, but it's very, very comfortable in the hands. And Nintendo Land, Zombie U, and it did come in the box for Mario Kart 8, but he lost the game. He said he couldn't find it. But and back then, in 2013, I got this for a really good deal, and I think even by today's standards it was very good. I seem to remember it being about 160. I've just asked my wife and she recalls it being more like 180, so the jury's out on that one. But I think that was a fantastic price for this, especially seeing it was only a 6-month-old system at the time. So I've kept it since then, and it's stays now downstairs in the lounge alongside my PlayStation 4, so I can obviously play Wii backward compatible games on this. But yeah, really like the system. I'm going to go through the games now, and I'm going to go through them in alphabetical order like I usually do in my collection vids. I haven't got loads, but I've got the ones I really want. There's probably maybe one or two more I might have I might pick up. But I think here I've got 42, 43 games. So then what I'm going to do is clear the deck here and go through the games. Now we're going to start the game collection off with a bang for what I believe, and many no doubt will believe, is one of the best games on the system, and that's Bayonetta 2. I did have the previous version, which was like a double standard box set with Bayonetta 1, but I saw this and thought, I have to get it. I mean, the packaging's glorious on it. It comes with the art book and things like that, and it also does come with the original Bayonetta game. I did play Bayonetta on the PlayStation 3, which was the poorest version, I believe, with very slow load times and glitches and bugs and things like that. But I think they patched it a little bit. But for me, Bayonetta 2 is head and shoulders above Bayonetta 1. The combat is silky smooth. I think it's 60 frames per second locked in this. It looks obviously gorgeous on the Wii U. It was built specifically for the Wii U, and yeah, just a fantastic fun time. Non-stop kick-ass mayhem. Play it, highly recommended game. Next, I played this probably last year, I think it was, so I've had it in my collection for quite a while. This is Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, and I really enjoyed it. I love the puzzle mechanics of this, and this game was born out of was it Super Mario World 3D on the again on the Wii U, which will be coming up later. And there were little mini levels in that to do with Toad, and you would turn the world and try and discover the coins or the mushrooms. I can't quite remember, but they expanded on that. That was so popular that they gave the chap who put those bits together the go ahead to make a full game. So yeah, highly recommended. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And whilst we're on that, I know the Wii U wasn't as powerful as the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox 360, but Nintendo, they know they get all the juice from their systems, and arguably these, I mean, Bayonetta 2, you could easily compare it to something on the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, and other games coming up later. Mario Kart 8, for me, still to this day, looks absolutely gorgeous on HD and runs so well. Again, that's Nintendo knowing their systems and polishing their games up to a real bright shine. So anyway, on to the next one. It's still sealed. It's Darksiders, the War Mastered Edition. I'm keeping it sealed. I've got it on the PlayStation 3, albeit the original version, not the War Mastered Edition, and thoroughly enjoyed Darksiders. Zelda-esque, but a much more mature graphic. You know, lots of violence in there, some swearing, I believe, and creepy sort of atmosphere. But dungeons in here, you would sort of explore similar to Zelda, and you would unlock a weapon in that particular dungeon that would then typically you would use on that boss within that dungeon. So yeah, fantastic game. Really enjoyed the Darksiders. Next, another sealed game as well. Now this one's apparently a bit of a turkey, and it's the Devil's Third. I picked this up quite cheap back in the day, and I heard it's not all that great. I'm not overly keen to play it, but if I do, I'll just pick up an opened version. I'm going to keep that one sealed. Next, a fantastic platformer, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I finished this one. It is tough. There are some tasty levels in this, but definitely doable. I haven't got all the Kong letters or anything like that, which I think opens up a couple more branching hidden levels. But some of those challenges it's just a bit beyond me. Might go back to it at some point and give it a blast. But this looks and plays so well on the system, and the soundtrack by David Wise, isn't it? He's come back. There's some new tunes on here. There's some remixed variants of original tunes that he did for the Super Nintendo. And what I'm going to do is insert one of my favourite tunes from this now. I believe it was the underwater theme, but it's here. Now I really love that tune. Fantastic game, highly recommended. Fast Racing Neo. We didn't get F-Zero for the system, and we still haven't got it for the Switch. What they're playing at Nintendo, I don't know. Sometimes I just think, you know, they don't want to make money. That thing will just fly off the shelves. I know Shigeru Miyamoto said, well, this was years ago, I believe around the time of the Wii, and maybe the Wii U, that they couldn't think of a new sort of mechanic to insert into the game to sort of make it fresh and new again. But man, just do a new version of it, looking all polished and sparkly, and maybe even get Sega involved again to help out. I know they did for the GameCube game, which is, to me, maybe better than the Super Nintendo one, which is controversial, I know, but it's very good. Anyway, this is this was a cheap game and highly recommended. Again, a bit like your Wipeouts and obviously F-Zeros, thumping sort of soundtracks. And in this, what is the theme? Isn't it like, I think there's like red and green pieces of track, and you have to go on the appropriate one at the appropriate time to get extra boost and speed. I haven't played it for a long time, this game, but yeah, thoroughly recommended. Next is Hyrule Warriors. I did boot this up and give it a little bash probably last year or the year before. But I will go back and finish this one. For some reason, I just put it down and cracked on with another game. I just wanted to see what it was about, really, because I fancied a little bit of Zelda after I polished off Breath of the Wild. I wanted to go back to something that I haven't played before. Apparently, it is good, but apparently it can get a little bit tedious, constantly fighting hordes of enemies. But with the Zelda themes, I think this will be really good. Next is a fighting game by the chaps that put together Mortal Kombat, and that's Injustice: Gods Among Us. It's not bad. I much prefer the Mortal Kombats, the newer ones as well. You know, X, and I've got XL. Might need to get 11, but we'll see about that. I'll see what they do with the PlayStation 5 when I come around to pick that one up. But yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it looks and plays very well, but yeah, I don't like a lot of the superheroes in that one. Now, I picked this one up because it was dirt cheap and one of the last games to be officially released for the system. And I thought, well, with previous consoles, a lot of the last games on the system tend to go up in price. Keeping it sealed, got no intention of playing it. Just Dance 2019. Nothing more to say about that one. Next, another platformer, Kirby Rainbow Paintbrush. Finished this one a couple years ago. Thought it was good, you know, it was okay. Enjoyed it. The aesthetics are fantastic, like plasticine kind of aesthetic. With both the backgrounds and Kirby himself, you can still see all the little thumbprints in there, which I thought was a really nice touch. They didn't overly clean all that up, and yeah, definitely worth a bash. The only thing I didn't like about it, and other people have said it as well, is it looks beautiful on the HD TV, but because of the nature of how you control Kirby, you're constantly looking at the Wii U tablet screen, so you're not getting to see all the glorious visuals. But it's still a very good game. Right, here we go. Massive hitter, definitely one of the best on the system. Is it a 10 out of 10 game? For me, I don't think it is. I've played so many hours of this, and I remember picking it up. I bought this brand new. I don't usually buy video games new, and I haven't done for a while, but for this and others I make exceptions. But I remember just buzzing and just being so happy to finally play a brand new Zelda game. And this open, you know, it is fantastic. The open world is excellent. I know people didn't like the climbing stamina aspect, and if it was raining you couldn't climb unless did you have a suit later on, a climbing gear, or you could just play an instrument and get rid of the rain. I can't remember. Literally played this as soon as it come out, didn't play anything else. Must have pumped in about 100 hours into this or something. Did all the shrines, and for me, I know they wanted to get away from the dungeon structure, and arguably those demigod levels, which there are 4 of, were kind of dungeon-esque, but I think it would have benefited from some classic kind of dungeons dotted around there, as well as the shrines. But yeah, a brilliant game, probably a 9 out of 10 for me. Definitely one of the better Zelda games though, and yeah, they really did need to shake it up after Skyward Sword on the Wii. That's, for me, one of the weaker games on that, but more about that in my Wii collection video that will come up, I'm sure, one day in the new year. Next, I got this for me and the wife really to play through. She loves the Lego games and she loves Jurassic Park. Yeah, we played loads of it, and very enjoyable game. Wife really loved it. Wind Waker, HD, Zelda, fantastic. Still, well, played it originally on the GameCube, and I know there was a massive hoo-ha about the graphical style. I personally didn't really mind, to tell the truth. And because of the art style, it's aged so well, especially with the polish up in HD for this. They might have gone a bit OTT with the lighting effects in this, but very good. I've been playing it through whenever my niece comes round, and we've probably got 1 or 2 dungeons to go, and then the game is completed for the second time on the Wii U. Excellent game. Another Legend of Zelda game, and that's Twilight Princess. Very good. After Wind Waker on the GameCube, it was the swan song for the GameCube, and it came out on the Wii. I've got both of those versions, but I remember playing it on the Wii when I first got the console. Very good, and I do want to boot this one up again and go through it, probably this year actually. Another Lego game which my wife hasn't played yet, so we will do this. It's kind of a Grand Theft Auto Lego edition, so yeah, keen to give that one a go. Apparently very, very good. Mario Kart 8. This is definitely my favourite game on the system. I think I've pumped in so many hours into it. I still haven't unlocked everything. I got the extra courses that they released, and yeah, the track designs in this are fantastic. The graphics to this day still look absolutely superb. Like I said earlier, Nintendo really know how to push every drop of power and artistic expression out of their systems. For me, this is the best Mario Kart. Arguably, it will be better on the Nintendo Switch because they have obviously improved the battle mode on that one. On this one, it was just ridiculously daft. I don't know why they even bothered including it, to tell the truth. Why they just didn't, they couldn't make the old sort of maps like they used to on the previous games, I don't know. But yeah, it's very, very, very silly, very bizarre. Fantastic game. If you collect for the Wii U, or if you haven't played this yet, it's a system seller. Get the system just to play that, or the Nintendo Switch. Love my tennis games, I've said in many videos, and this one's no exception. Mario Tennis. Not as good as maybe the one on the GameCube. But yeah, good fun. Good to play with a friend, 2-player, after a couple of drinky poos. Another sealed game, Mass Effect 3. Again, I picked this up for a really, really, really cheap price, and thought, wow, I've got it on the PlayStation 3. So, and played it and completed it on there. So I'm just going to leave that one sealed. This is supposed to be a turkey as well, Mighty Number 9. This one's staying sealed. If I want to play it, which I doubt I will, it's not supposed to be very good at all, by the creators of Mega Man. Yeah, very disappointing this apparently. Monster Hunter 3. Do want to get into the Monster Hunters. I know the one on the PlayStation 4 is supposed to be very good, and I do have this on the 3DS, which I want to play through. That's supposed to be very good. Yeah, it's a bit of a life sucker, this game though, isn't it? Where you can just pump in over 100, 200 odd hours just upgrading your equipment and slaying beasts. So yeah, definitely want to give the Monster Hunter series a try. For some reason, this game holds its value quite well. Not sure why. Maybe it had a limited run, or it came out near the end of the Wii U's life cycle. Not too sure, but very good game. I haven't played too much of it, and booted it up last time a couple of years ago now. But yeah, plays really, really well. Looks nice. And do I have it on the PlayStation 3? No, I don't. I think I've just got this version. Very good game. This one I'm going to be booting up very soon, because this one's popped into my mind. It's basically like the Super Mario Brothers U game, but obviously it's starring Luigi in this lovely green case. And I believe the levels are more difficult in general. So keen to test my platforming skills in this one. And this was very expensive, I remember. Whether or not it is now, I don't know. Again, I haven't really looked at any sort of Wii U gaming prices for a long, long time. Nintendo Land, a bit like the equivalent of the Wii Sports, where it was bundled in with the system and it showed off what you could do with the touchpad and the tablet display screen. Good fun. I remember when my niece was much younger, she would come round and we played Pikmin together, the little Pikmin demo, and yeah, it's not bad. There's some good little games on there. This is my most recent Wii U purchase actually, and it's Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures 2. I do want to get the first one, however. Apparently they're quite good. Paper Mario Color Splash. This one isn't supposed to be one of the best ones in the series. I do want to play the Paper Marios, but I do want to start off with either the one on the N64 that I have, or what's considered, I believe, the best one, Thousand Year Door on the GameCube. I want to play those first, but yeah, keen to give that a go. Pikmin 3. I'm going to leave this as well to play Pikmin 1 and 2 before I jump onto this one. And in one of my other videos I discussed, I think it was a VR response video regarding games I've started but not finished, and Pikmin is in there, so I do want to go back and finish that one. Rayman Legends, I played and finished this. This gets quite tasty as well, but I played this one on and completed it on the PlayStation 3, didn't I? I can't remember, but yeah, really lovely game, gorgeous platformer, real nice art style, and it does get, yeah, quite tough and tasty, but beatable. Resident Evil Revelations, this another sealed game. I didn't really realise I had so many sealed games for the system. I've got this one on the PlayStation 3, but for me, this belongs on the 3DS. It just works so good on that system. And the second one's very good as well. Highly recommended. In fact, this was, when did this come out? Probably around the time of Resi 5, wasn't it? And/or 6. And obviously 6 is well, I think, probably one of the weakest, if not the weakest in the entire series. And they kind of go back to the roots a bit here, where you're in the confined spaces of this ship, cruise liner. And yeah, plays like the Resident Evil games of old with that survival horror aspect. Speaking of horror, is it survival horror, this one? I haven't played any of the Fatal Frames or Project Zeros. This is the limited edition version. This one is quite pricey now, but I got this one years ago and it wasn't that bad. So yeah, keen to give it a go. I believe you use the tablet controller. It's kind of a camera in this one. Yeah, you don't really get weapons in this. It's the camera in this is your kind of friend that disposes or at least stuns the ghosts, I believe. So yeah, keen to give that one a go. Love my horror games, and the Japanese do very twisted horror games. So there's that one. Now what I'm going to do is clear the deck and go through the last part of the games. This one's a bit of a stinker as well, sadly. Star Fox Zero, and it comes with, is it Guard? Yeah, Guard steel tin in the first print edition here. Was really looking forward to playing a decent Star Fox game. It's been so long. For me, Armada on the GameCube was disappointing, and this was arguably more so, where you've got force controls for the tablet and it just didn't quite work. And kind of goes against Nintendo's philosophy of polishing everything up. While they didn't patch it at the very least and have standard controls in there, I don't know. But yeah, the controls were cumbersome with the tablet and the gyroscopic controls. But this was back in the day where I played through this with my mate Pete, and years ago I would go over his, we'd play 2-player games, and then he would come over mine, we'd pick another game, and we picked this one, and yeah, we're quite disappointed with it. Some of the levels capture that Star Fox atmosphere and spirit, but for me, yeah, it was quite disappointing. Next, Shovel Knight. Fantastic game, polished this one off. And I know it's come out for multiple systems, but for me, with the 8-bit sort of nature to this game, it sort of belonged on the Wii U, a Nintendo system. And excellent game, excellent soundtrack, plays really, really well. I know there's a lot of indie games that have that kind of 8-bit, 16-bit aesthetic, but this is one of the best ones that I've played anyway. Excellent, excellent game. Next is Splatoon, and the meat and potatoes of this one is really the 2-player and multiplayer aspect of it. And I don't really play multiplayer games. I tend to just go through and play a good solid single player experience, but I have played it with friends around, having a few drinks and all that, and my niece likes to play it as well. Yeah, good fun, very good game. And I believe with this one, Nintendo had a couple of junior staff that were developing this, and yeah, just backed them and pushed these new talented game designers to make the game. So quite an interesting little story there. Here we got a nice arcadey racing game, which is Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed. I've got the second one as well for another system, I can't remember what. PlayStation 4, is it? And in this, again, I love my kart races and my more arcadey racing games compared to, say, your simulations. And in this, you got 20 legendary kind of races, it says here, and I believe Alex Kidd is in this one, and it was great to see him. Ryu from Shenmue's in here, and with this one, you obviously have 3 laps of this course, but each lap the course sort of falls apart, and your racer goes from a boat, transforms into a car, and transforms into like a jet or a plane. So a little bit like Diddy Kong really, but you do that all on the fly as you race around the tracks. So that's its own kind of like unique gimmick, if you will, and yeah, very good game. SteamWorld games, supposed to be very, very good. Haven't played them yet, but what I've seen in gameplay videos and things like that looks right on my street. This is a very unique game, and that's Super Mario Maker. Really enjoyed this. In this you build classic stages from 8-bit and 16-bit Marios, and I did build quite a few. I can't remember. On this I did build quite a few, and I put them up online, and that was great, playing other people's levels. Some of them are just plain daft, you know, how the hell you could beat some of these levels, but I've seen some interesting videos of people actually doing it. Yeah, really good fun this, and something you could just pop in the console and, you know, hours will go by as you're building all your different levels. Recommended. Great platformer this. Super Mario 3D World. Love this case with a little furry belly there on Mario, and a good strong game in the Mario series, I believe anyway. I do like my 3D Marios, I love my 2D Marios, just love Mario as an IP, full stop. Gorgeous to look at. I know this one is supposed to be a bit more on the multiplayer side. I didn't play that, I just played this single player, and really enjoyed it still. Some of the level designs are gorgeous, really creative as well, and did finish it, but I haven't truly finished it where I need to get all the, is it like the gold icons that you pick up on each level. There's a couple that are really tricky that I still need to beat, and then I think I unlock some very difficult levels at the end, so I am keen to do that and finish it off 100%. Yet another sealed game, Super Mario Bros. U. Did finish this before on a unsealed version of the game, and it's all right. By this time, I was just getting a bit bored, like many others, I believe, of just this kind of formula that just, you know, Nintendo just bashing these games out. I preferred something with a little bit more quirk and just something a bit new and fresh, like this game. So yeah, it's not, you know, it's not bad. Super Smash Bros. Wii U, excellent game, tons of characters, tons of levels, tons to do. So, you know, you get a lot of game for your buck in this, and yeah, just need to go back to that one and play some more and unlock more characters and things like that. But I do like the series. I'm not a super fan, but I do enjoy them. This one's supposed to be very good. This is Tank Tank Tank, based off an old retro arcade game, I believe. And yeah, it's supposed to be very good. I haven't played it yet. I forgot. When I said I bought the console at the start of this video with a bunch of games, this one was actually on there. Tekken Tag Tournament Wii U edition. And it's excellent. I really like it. I think it's one of the better Tekken games, to be fair. And my wife's a big Tekken fan. She used to love playing through the early PlayStation games and getting the endings and just seeing the daft little movies at the end. And yeah, me and her play this still to this day. It's very good. Really good addition of the game. This one's supposed to be very Japanese RPG. Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE. So yeah, don't really know too much about it. Very Japanese, very out there, no doubt. We'll get around to playing it at some point. Wii Fit U. Got the board from the Wii, which it uses, and me and the wife, a good few years ago now, we just did about, I think it was like a 3-month weight loss trial with it, and both did quite well with it. Wii Sports Club, really like these games. Again, it's just HD versions of Wii Sports. Loved Wii Sports back in the day for the Wii, and that's very recommended. Great. My mate used to come around and we played lots of holes of golf and bowling and things like that. Really good. This is one I definitely want to boot up soon, the wonderful 101. Just looks really unique. Platinum Games, so it's going to be zany and crazy, but really good fun. Yeah, looks fantastic. Where you go around and recruit loads of different superheroes, and you have to manage them, and then use specific superheroes as you go around this 3D world that have specific powers at certain times. Yeah, just looks really interesting and unique. Xenoblade Chronicles X. I really do want to play these, but the fact that they're so damn long does put me off at the moment. I just don't have time to play these ridiculously long games, and you can spend 250 odd hours, I've heard, if you do all the side quests and things like that. But really like the look of the world, and the game does look excellent. I've got the previous version on the Wii, which I'll go through again in my Wii collection video. Yoshi's Woolly World, been through this one and finished it. Again, similar to Kirby, it's got its own aesthetic style where everything looks like a yarny, woolly material, both the levels and Yoshi, and you would sort of pull these little pieces of wool and it would unwrap parts of the level, so it had like a pseudo 3D 2.5D aspect where you would go into the background and come forward. Yeah, it looked gorgeous, and as a platformer, it's all right. It's 7 out of 10 sort of game for me, but yeah, definitely worth a play. Last, but by no means least, Zombie U. I know this is a little bit Marmite, but for me, I really enjoyed it. It's kind of again, buying it in the bundle was one of my introductions to the Wii U, and Ubisoft for this did capitalise on utilising the tablet features very well. Survival horror set in London, and with this one you control multiple characters. If one dies, your equipment and everything you've collected is still there, a bit like Dark Souls, where with the next character that you'll respawn with in your base hub, you need to get back there and get it. But if you don't make it back there and die again, all your stuff's gone for good. It sounds tedious and annoying, but I think it works quite well and really pushes you the survival horror aspect of the game. Really enjoyed it. Thought the graphics were all right as well, and yeah, thoroughly recommended for the Wii U. Guys, that is it. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please provide comments and let me know what games I'm missing or need to check out, and let me know what you think to the collection in the comment section below. And for my next video, it's going to be another pickups edition. I've got quite a bit to go through, probably about 25 items or something like that. So that'll be my next one, maybe in a week or two. It's just down to time now. Guys, all that remains is to say thanks again for watching. Stay safe and Happy New Year. Let's hope 2021 is a very different year to 2020. Stay safe and take care, and I'll see you again.